I think for everybody, what they get out of study abroad is going to be unique, because you are a unique individual. What you sort of bring to the table, you're going to work through. One of the things that you have to kind of understand about Ireland and Northern Ireland is that there has been so many issues, so many conflicts there. And so for the entire island is about, I don't know, it's slightly smaller than Indiana, okay, to give you some reference. Now imagine everything north of like I-80 is a separate country. But they're all on the same island that's like that size. So what's really interesting is there's definitely a different culture from Northern Ireland to the Republic of Ireland. And we look at the troubles that started in the 1960s and the 1970s, inspired by the civil rights movement in the United States and Martin Luther King. Many Irish Catholics in the north of Ireland started demanding equal rights. They were being oppressed by the Protestants, right? And the people that were in power, and they were loyal to the British king, queen, and, the British monarchy and all of that. So, there started a conflict. And in fact, a lot of people are really surprised to find out that the longest British military occupation was in Northern Ireland. It lasted 40 years until the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. And so there was tension, there were car bombs. I mean, if you've ever heard of the drink an Irish car bomb, please, if you ever go there, do not order that. It would be the equivalent of like going to New York City and ordering a 9/11. Not only do we see like what's going on between those two factions, but sort of our kind of concepts of like Ireland and, that whole thing are completely challenged by being in that environment. Additionally, this year I've added Scotland to the program. And what's interesting about that is Scotland, there are a number of people who in Scotland that would have relatives in Northern Ireland because it's so close, and because in the 1600s and again in the 1700s there's what they call the Plantation of Ulster, which is that Northern Ireland area. And what King James did is he actually had Scottish people move into that area that are British citizens to try to control the Irish. And take control over that area. So what you have is you sort of have the Irish Republicans on one side, you have the Scottish up here that are not always in love with England, but they're kind of like they're part of the UK, they're part of the United Kingdom, but they kind of have their own separate identity. And then you have Northern Ireland, which is sort of like this, it's 6 counties, it's such a small little area that has its own unique identity. So there's all of these different sort of cross-cultural experiences that students have, in addition to bringing their own, like, what is it like to be an American abroad? What is it like to, have that? I'm not asking you to change your behavior, just observe how things, and see if you can blend, or see if you can, switch things up and try it, and, use this as an experiment. Students have to work so much harder to overcome not only the dialect or the accent, but just, the slang terms and things like that they don't understand can be difficult as well. Sometimes they find that they actually grow and develop as a person, and that part of culture shock, they kind of start questioning their identity and like who they are in the world. So for example, I had somebody go on the program that loved to sing but was always too shy. Well, there's always somebody singing in a pub in Ireland, and so it really helped bring her out of her shell.